January 3rd, 2009. Someone using the name Satoshi Nakamoto launches a new kind of money. Hidden in the very first block of code is a message, a newspaper headline, a clue. Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. This wasn't just code, it was a warning. The person who just invented a technology that threatens every central bank on Earth, whose creation is now worth over $1 trillion, vanished. They never touched their $69 billion in Bitcoin, never revealed their identity. Now, 16 years later, those same banks are trying to co-opt the technology they once mocked. Who was Satoshi Nakamoto? Why did they walk away? And what did they know that we're only discovering now? The motive was the 2008 financial crisis. Lehman Brothers collapsed. Banks got a $700 billion bailout. You got the bill. Just days later, the Bitcoin white paper appeared. Satoshi's creation wasn't just a new currency. It was a system with no middleman, no central bank, just math. For 2 years, Satoshi guided the project. Then, in April 2011, a final message. I've moved on to other things. Gone. Leaving behind $69 billion, untouched. The trigger? Just before they vanished, the lead developer of Bitcoin was invited to speak at the CIA. The timing is not a coincidence. By disappearing, Satoshi made the project unstoppable. It no longer had a head to cut off. Here's where the story gets sinister. For years, the banks mocked it. JP Morgan's CEO called Bitcoin a fraud. But behind closed doors, they were filing hundreds of blockchain patents. They realized the technology was powerful, but Bitcoin's decentralization was the threat. So now, they're pulling off the greatest bait and switch in financial history. They say, you're right, digital currency is the future. But their version isn't decentralized. It's the opposite. They're called central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, and they give governments total control. With Bitcoin, you control your money. No one can freeze your account or reverse a transaction. The supply is permanently capped. With a CBDC, the central bank controls everything. They can see every purchase you make. They can freeze your account remotely. They can program your money to expire, forcing you to spend it. They can even restrict where you spend it. It's programmable money, which means programmable people. 134 countries are developing these right now. They're not doing it for innovation. They're racing to replace cash with their version before you realize there's another choice. So right now, we're in the middle of a war most people don't even see. On one side, governments and banks building CBDCs, digital money they can program, surveil, and confiscate. On the other side, Bitcoin and decentralized cryptocurrencies, money nobody controls, programmed by code, not committees. And you get to choose which future wins, because CBDCs only work if everyone uses them. If enough people choose the alternative, their system of control fails. Satoshi saw this coming back in 2008. That's why they embedded that message about bank bailouts. They knew the system was broken, so they built an escape hatch and then disappeared to make sure nobody could close it. You can't arrest a ghost. You can't sanction a network with no center. The question isn't whether digital currency is the future. It is. The question is who controls it? A government that can edit your bank account for wrongthink? Or a network of mathematics that treats everyone the same? Satoshi made their choice. Now, it's yours. Now it's your turn to choose. Here's what's at stake in 2025 and beyond.
Here's what's at stake in 2025 and beyond. Your freedom to transact privately. Your ability to save without permission. Your right to own money that can't be programmed against you. Central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, put all of that at risk. But here's the secret. They only work if everyone uses them. And right now, you have a choice they don't want you to know exists. Let me show you what that choice looks like. In 2021, the Canadian government froze the bank accounts of truckers who protested COVID mandates. No trial, no due process, just frozen. Cut off from their own money. They couldn't use their debit cards, couldn't access their savings, couldn't pay rent or buy groceries. All because their government decided they held the wrong political opinion. Now imagine that same power, but permanently programmed into the currency itself. Your money could be frozen not just by a court order, but by an algorithm. Not just for legal violations, but for social credit scores, for buying the wrong things, for donating to the wrong causes. This isn't a conspiracy theory. China's digital yuan already does this, today. But here's the part that should give you hope. Some of those Canadian truckers received donations in Bitcoin. The government couldn't freeze it, couldn't stop it, couldn't control it.
That's why Satoshi built Bitcoin, not as an investment, as an escape hatch. And you don't need to understand the technology to use it. You didn't need to understand TCP/IP protocols to use email. You just need to understand the choice. Do you want money with an expiration date where the government sees every purchase? Or do you want an alternative that exists outside that system? You're living through a moment like 1933, when gold was confiscated, or 1971, when the gold standard ended. The difference is, you can see the pattern, and you have tools your grandparents didn't. You can own Bitcoin without asking permission. You can learn these systems now while there's still time. Or you can wait until your bank announces they're switching to CBDCs and your cash is converted automatically. By then, the choice has been made for you. I'm not telling you to put your life savings into cryptocurrency. I'm telling you to understand that the game is changing. Start small, learn how it works. Set up a wallet, buy $20 of Bitcoin just to see how it feels to own money that no one can take from you. Because here's what Satoshi understood. The real power isn't in the technology, it's in the choice. Every time someone chooses decentralized money over a CBDC, the surveillance system gets a little weaker. Every wallet created proves you don't need permission to be free. Satoshi left a message in the very first block of Bitcoin, a warning about bank bailouts, a declaration that there's another way. 16 years later, that message is clearer than ever. The banks got bailed out,
The money got printed, the system got more centralized, but the alternative Satoshi built, it's still running, still growing. No politician is going to protect your financial privacy. No central bank is going to voluntarily give up control. But you don't need them to. You have the tools. You have the choice. The future of money is being decided right now, not in congressional hearings, but in millions of individual choices. Will you accept money that tracks your every purchase, that can be frozen on a bureaucrat's whim? Or will you use money that's yours? Satoshi built the escape hatch and walked away. Now you know it exists. The banks are building their prison of programmable money, but the door is still open. You're here because you're curious, because you question the system. That skepticism is exactly what you need. Welcome to the revolution. It's happening one wallet at a time, and it starts with you. It always feels like the same playbook, different times, but the principles, they never change. If you learned something today, please subscribe to the channel and share it to declassify it for others.